Good evening, Omaha. You are listening us from our Refugee Podcast, Refugee Beyond Name Podcast. My name is Jacques Musavimana. I'm your host tonight, and tonight's special guest is our staff. The one you don't see as often, but he's always working hard behind scene. Jay, do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay. Hello, guys. My name is Ka Moo, but I go by Jay or Jay Soe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I just call him Jay,
yeah.
guys.
I prefer that. It's good.
Jay is what he prefers. Okay, so, well, I'll tell you guys, Jay is an amazing person. If you ever meet him, very kind, calm, but smart. Very, very smart. So we're very happy to have you tonight.
Thank you.
Mr.
Thank
Jay.
you. Thank you, Jack.
Well, before we start with our podcast for tonight, I like to give a few shout outs. So
Sure.
I want to give a shout outs to Omaha Community Foundation for supporting our programs. Thank you, and keep up the good work and supporting the community, especially for our podcast to be where we are today. I don't know. We could not have done it without Omaha Community Foundation, and we want to also give a shout out to Restoring Dignity. Restoring Dignity is an organization here that supports refugees, refugee communities through their furniture banks, donations, and also cleaning educations. So we do want to give them shout outs for their support as well. Because guess what, guys? This building in which we have our podcast in belongs to Restoring Dignity, and it's free rent.
Yes.
Free rent.
Free
Can
rent.
you believe that?
Yeah.
So amazing. We really love our partners. They're awesome. And then lastly, we want to give a shout out to our decor people.
Correct.
It's
correct.
SikuzaniArt.
Look at it. It's
Look
very
at our
beautiful.
studio now. I'm sure in our previous videos, it looked different, but look at this. This is like a salty addition here. It looks beautiful. What do you guys think? I mean, comment down. What do you think?
Sure. I think this decoration, it's beautiful, and also it's like the upgraded level of previous videos. So it's like
I
really
bet.
nice, and it makes the room more fuller and more brighter. It makes it like more comfortable as well.
I do agree with Jay. So SikuzaniArt, and if you ever need their service, you can reach them at 402-658-2039. This is more of East African decoration looking, and my team and I spoke that since our podcast is more of we represent a lot of refugee communities
Correct.
around the globe, so we like to kind of have a decoration theme.
Correct.
This time it's African. Next one could be from another continent.
Correct. Correct.
Asia, Europe, you name it. So
Correct.
yes, your community will be represented.
Definitely, and we also will try to maybe every month or every 2 months we will try to change up thing and put different themes on, like with decoration stuff like that. So everybody, the people can see like different cultures and different also art as well.
Absolutely, because we are different culture, and that's what makes us beautiful.
Correct.
Right, Jay?
Correct.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, well, Omaha, like I said, I have a special guest today. Jay is our behind scene stuff. He runs our podcast. Gosh, when I say he runs it, he does run it. You could not be able to watch us without Jay. So he's our technical guy, and
Yes,
so he does amazing job. And you guys can we appreciate your comments. So please continue commenting and give us advice. Your advice. How can, like Jay mentioned, how can we make a decor that represents you?
correct.
And also how can we continue to do a great job? So Jay is amazing guy. Now Jay, talk to folks
All right,
about yourself. Who you are, and explain yourself, and so
Sure.
people can learn who their behind scene technical guy is.
Sure. All right, so starting off, my name is Ka Moo, but my birth name is supposed to be Sagaludoso Moo, but it's too long, so my mom.
So glodosomu.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yes,
There you go.
correct.
See, not that long.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of like syllable, like a lot of words in there, so they shorten it to Sagalumu.
Sokolomu.
So sometimes people call me Doso, and sometimes people call me Ka Moo, and they just take out Doso and Ka Moo, like they separate it, So I have two names, instead of one. It's supposed to be one though.
But you said you prefer.
But I prefer more of my Jay or Jay Soe. I think
Jay Soe.
people pronounce it like more easier, because when people pronounce my name Ka Moo, they usually call it Ka Moo.
Yeah.
So it's like the pronunciation, or like it changed now.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
I prefer more of Jay.
More of Jay. Okay,
Yeah.
we just gonna go by what you prefer.
Sure.
If you prefer, if you were preferring Soklomu, we would just do that. But
Definitely.
you prefer Jay, so we
Definitely.
respect you on that.
Definitely.
Now, Jay, that your explanation of that name sounds like comes from somewhere. Is it?
Correct. So my ethnicity is Korean, Kenya.
Korean, Kenya.
So
Okay.
my name has a meaning to it. My name's supposed to be Sagaludoso Moo, meaning like, even though like I'm a refugee, when I live in other country, I should strive to be at the same education level, or
Wow.
try to be
so.
like inspired by that. And then also, if other culture can do it, I can do it, as
So
a refugee.
your name literally means thrive.
Yeah, something like that.
Strive. Wow,
Yeah, strive, yeah.
that's amazing, man. Your parents must knew who they were naming.
Oh, they
Because you can strive, guys. Jay can strive. He just, if you have a question on our stuff, ask Jay.
Sure.
Right? He knows everything, so he can absolutely thrive. He does thrive in everything he does.
Definitely.
Well, so you said your family are refugees. From were you born in?
So I was born
Town.
in a village, actually. Born in a
Okay.
village, and Solu. It's called Solu. It's close to the camp, Melat refugee camp.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, because we used to live in in like the border of Thailand and Myanmar. So my mom named me that because she even though we become refugees, from wars and stuff like that, we she want to still see me, to strive and to go big.
Absolutely. So she did not want to name you based on the struggles that were happening. Well, in a negative way, but she named you. Your mom, although there were struggles happening and you being born on, during harsh,
Correct.
she decided to, focus on positive.
Correct.
You're gonna strive
Correct.
despite all this craziness
Correct.
around us. I am so proud of your parents. Well, happy Women's International Day.
Oh,
It
correct,
is
correct.
Women's
Happy Women's
International Day.
Correct.
And your mom reminds me of that. Strong woman. We
Yeah.
love her mom. And,
Shout out to my mom.
Yes, and my mom.
Yes, you.
My
mom as
wife
well.
too.
Correct. Correct.
Shout out to our beautiful mothers and wives.
Shout out to every mother. and
Every mothers. You are amazing.
Every woman.
Yes. Just we wanted to mention you. So Jay, you you came in States. How old were you?
I came in state about when I was 9 years old. So I came in 2008 in the United States. I first came in Texas, Fort Worth, and I lived there about probably like 7 years.
Oh, so
there.
you came from Texas. Well, you
Correct.
arrived in Texas and had to migrate into Nebraska.
No, I came from. I lived there like 7 years around
7
there,
years.
and then I came to, and then I moved to Nebraska.
Was it you or with your family?
Moved in with my family, mom.
Any reasons why you guys moved? I mean, I think Texas is Fort Worth very warm.
It's pretty warm, but my mom.
What?
Yeah, my mom. My mom like to live where there's a lot of like ethnic group, and also can help them translate stuff when she doesn't know how to, like going to hospital or doing like paperwork or anything like that. Like when I'm not there, there's people like to call on.
Okay, so she wanted to move where there is a big community of Korean.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. And by the way, we're in Omaha, Nebraska, and there is a big community of Korean people.
Correct.
Okay, that is amazing. Well, so you're saying in Fort Worth, Texas, there's not a whole lot of Korean?
So in Fort Worth, Texas, there's not too many. It's
too many.
Because like you will start realizing that when everybody in there are all Korean and all of them, so you know that there's not a lot of you. Yeah, there's not a whole lot. It's probably like maybe I don't know, maybe less than 100 family.
Oh, so there is not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot.
It's just like us,
Correct.
Burundian
Correct.
people. Not a whole lot of Burundian people. So okay, everybody know each other.
Correct.
Okay.
And other things that I always when I stay there, because I was almost graduating. I was senior, and then I was like, what college am I going to? What am I gonna do? This and that, because like there's not a lot of like support from the community, and there's not a lot of direction that where we're gonna go. And a lot of my friend most of my friends end up in going to the military, and
really? There is a military base down there.
Correct. And then me, I was like, I see a lot of people here, and some of my friends that I made here go to college and go get their education and do bigger things. And I was like, it's best that I come here.
That's right. Okay. Well, and we are so happy to have you, Jay. You
Yes.
bring a lot to the community. I mean, Jay is working here, probably putting in 4 hours a week, just studio stuff, and we do not pay him. So his all volunteer work.
Correct.
So it's amazing to have you, and we are so glad you made the decision to come here.
Definitely. I think one thing that that drive me is about helping the next generation, to set up the next generation.
Amen
Because
to
those
that.
those are the people that we have to plant the seed.
Yes,
So
planting the seed. Speaking of
Yeah.
planting the seed, you know, Jay, when I called Jay and we spoke about the mission of our podcast and why was it so important for us to do this, he was like, yes, let's do it. The mission is really to educate and inspire, but through storytelling.
Correct.
And Jay has a great story as a refugee coming in being named Thrive,
Correct.
coming in to Fort Worth and then saying, no, wait, we gotta move to Omaha, Nebraska, where there are
Correct.
a lot of folks in which we can give back to and support. And he is indeed supporting us on our podcast and doing other stuff in the community as well.
Correct.
Now, Jay, what is your advice? And then, excuse me, what is your advice to those who are right now refugees like your age,
Sure.
who might be struggling
Sure.
in life in general,
Correct.
like might be struggling on being motivated to go to school,
Correct.
motivated about life, just life in general.
Correct.
What's your advice to them?
So my advice, first of all, like me, I like to, mom always tell me that, if you, if you try to go to school, your dreams got to be 12th grade. But if it doesn't reach 12th grade, you will reach somewhere in between those grades. So at least you start something and
Yes.
then dream big and just keep going.
Yes,
Do not be afraid to fail, because
absolutely.
failure is what makes you grow.
Oh,
And-
yes.
and-
Ooh,
And those obstacles that
that's so powerful right there.
those obstacles that in front of you is try to help you grow. If you look at it in a positive way, not to help you pull yourself back, but if you once you overcome it and then you realize that, wow, I'm not gonna take that back,
Yes.
and I'm gonna keep going more, because those things are helping me grow. But if it's all about having success every day and you don't have any failure, it's what can you grow from that?
Ooh, see, did you hear that, guys?
Yeah.
Like, do not be afraid of failure. How often do we hear this? Like, Jay, you just inspired me right now, right? Do not be afraid when you struggle, when there is some down, when you are hit with failure. It's not the end of the world.
Correct.
Get up and keep on going,
Correct.
because that's actually how you grow,
Yes.
through failure, through many tries, and it
Correct.
doesn't work out. Try it again, it
Correct.
doesn't work out.
Correct. Yeah.
Maybe pause and assess, then keep on going.
Sure. And
That is so powerful, Jay.
yeah,
Thank you.
and another thing is that like for me, like going through struggle, is I always put it as this way, as put it as always reminding myself it's a beautiful struggle, because
Wow.
because I'm growing from that, because
See, Jay is
yeah,
changing it into, wait a minute, this is actually, it shouldn't be called a failure. It should be called just a beautiful, maybe make up something beautiful, so it's
sure,
it's actually, because it's actually going to be a positive after that failure.
correct.
So and then one of my favorite teachers once said, it's not about failure, but it's about what you do after you fail.
correct.
It's not about what happened, it's about what you do after what happens.
Correct.
So I love it, man.
I agree with that.
That's it. And then this technique can be applied to anything, to anybody, excuse me, whether you're a refugee listening to us today from Ukraine, right? Whether you're a refugee from East Africa, refugee from West Africa, Asia, right?
Correct.
Europe, everywhere. Whenever you're listening to us from Omaha, like
Correct.
this could apply to anybody. This is a positive mindset. It's a growth mindset to have. You know, failure. It's not about failure is not a bad thing. It's actually a way of life. You just gotta get up and keep on moving because it's a part of it, it's a part of the life.
Correct.
Wow. So, what have you done? Can you provide an example of something you done after you failed?
So one thing that so me, I usually do a lot of music and I make like beats, and when I first came into the United States, I was inspired by like sounds of electronic music, and especially hip hop. It's like it catches me, with the sound. I was like, it's not a classical sound, but what kind of sound is that? I was very interested by it, and then and I started making music. And when I came to Omaha, I started trying to build my little studio. And at first, I post, and then I wouldn't see anybody try to comment or anything. People wouldn't bother you, because you're just starting off, and you try to learn in the process of it as well. And I was trying. So I was like, what should I look back at my beats and listen to it almost 10 or 20 times a day. And I was thinking, which part did I not make it the best? And I'm always trying to improve and always listen back and try to which part is what can I fill the gap in between those. And sometimes I fail to to keep my stuff updated. It's just sometimes you start to lose motivation as well, because the things that you do does it work. And sometimes, but I always try to keep my mind to improve. Past that failure, I don't I just be that failure, just clip, then just pass, do it and improve it.
Wow.
So I just skip the failure, it's I try to push it down, and then I just listen over and over, just try to make
always
try to
not
improve.
giving up. You listening constantly, trying to improve it. By the way, folks, all the music and sound you hear in our podcast, kudo to Jay here. He's the one who made those. So please comment and say something. Thank him. He has done a great job.
And one more thing. One more thing is that also the music that we have on the podcast, in the background, whatever. Sometimes I also pick it up, and sometimes I also make it on my own. And the production that I have, I just want to put the music that really suit the sound of the podcast as well.
Yes, so, you done a great job, and folks know that. Yes. Again, folks, you are listening to Refugee Beyond Name Podcast. Jay, I think it's time to close it.
Sure.
Any last words you want to tell folks?
Well, last words that, just keep, like me, I like to be inspired by people, and I like to inspire people.
Yes.
So, please inspire me as well, and I like to inspire you guys as well, to keep going, to keep having that growth mindset, and to keep improving on what you do, and don't give up, because after you succeed, you will look back and you will see a lot of things that you wouldn't take back. And that's one thing that I learned.
So today's lesson, folks, is do not give up. Failure is part of the process, and just enjoy it. Enjoy the failure. and figure out how to what you do after that failure is what matters the most. And that's a great learning, teaching lessons for today.
Sure.
So, what again? You are listening to Refugee Beyond Name Podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Thank you.
And we do appreciate if you can keep on commenting it, like our videos, and share them, subscribe.
Sure.
And then pretty soon we're gonna put them on Spotify.
Correct.
So folks can hear from both YouTube and Spotify.
Sure. And I'm also the tech guy here, so
yes,
maybe you might get a reply from me, or we get a reply from Jacques, and we'll also put on a lot of distributed platform as well soon. And right now we just talking about it. So
yes, we are. So and again, it's a new podcast. So any ideas folks might have on how to make it even great, we are open to suggestions. So thank you so much, Jay, for coming.
Thank you, Jacques, for having me.
All right, thank you. Ciao.
Thank you, guys.